Yo, what's going on, man? Shout out to the Most High. I'm here with a good friend of mine. This is the first episode of Idolatry The Podcast. And I'm so excited about this moment, man. I had a good friend of mine, as I told you, that stepped in. And we're going to do a real major. We got a lot of plans for the future. I'm going to give you a brief synopsis of what I'm trying to do. You know, idolatry. What I did was I branded a word that already had a meaning, and I changed it, almost like, I wouldn't say bonics, but I would say, I just branded it on my own. The eyes for the third eye is for the future of what we could see, for where we going. Your cannabinoid is, we're gonna get even deeper into that, but then you got the dollar. Quite naturally, is capitalism, is what we live in, whether you want to believe it or not. Money is a necessity. Is what a lot of us work for. And the tree represents the growth, and I plan for all my trees to be planted by water. I'm a Pisces, so those trees that planted by water have roots that run deep, just like still waters. And my whole goal is to identify with those people who I've been conversing with on a regular. A lot of people tell me that, I'm a barber. That's why the setting, if you look at the ambiance, it's crazy. But I always tell people, what you have experienced is an experience. I stopped cutting hair a long time ago. So I say that to say this, I'm at a higher form of me, and I'm only dealing with people who are on that higher form. And the person I'm here with is somebody I've been knowing for over a decade. We share so many, we share a lot of ideas, and it's crazy because I like being around guys who make me grow. Pause. You know what I'm saying? But I like being around guys who got a different look on life. You looking at a Marine. You looking at a simplified. You know what I'm saying? You looking at a Marine. You looking at a photographer. You looking at a brother. You looking at a son. You looking at a great friend. You looking at a fisherman, an avid fisherman. You looking at a YouTuber. You looking at an entrepreneur. You looking at a businessman. And I say all that to say I want to introduce y'all to my man Donovan Barnes. I'm gonna let him give y'all his handle and how y'all can find him on social media, because I know that's what everybody looking for. So I'm gonna turn the floor over to him for a little bit and let him talk your stuff, Don.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that intro, man.
You already know.
I've never had an intro like that.
Hey, before. Man, that's what I do, man.
Yeah, you made me seem bigger than what I thought I was.
Hey,
man.
I
appreciate it.
Nah, you everything plus more. I'm telling you, dog. Oh, and he costs $500 an hour. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, like you said, I'm Donovan Barnes with Real Production and Photography. I did my time in the Marines, went to Iraq, Afghanistan, seen my fair share.
Thank you for your service.
I made it back safe and sound.
As we can see, man.
What you can see outside the box.
Right.
You never know what's going on inside the box. So definitely remember that when you're talking with a veteran. But with that being said, I did step out of the Marines, took my uniform off, and decided to, put one weapon down and pick up another weapon.
There we go.
And right now, the weapon is my camera.
There we go.
My weapon brings me home at the end of the work day, and it helps me eat.
Yeah.
It feeds me, and
it helps you serve your country.
Right. It helps me serve my country at the same time.
One citizen at a time.
So after the Marines, I started my business, man. Really didn't know what direction to take my business.
Okay.
And right now, I'm actually helping other people tell their story.
Cool.
And that's kind of what I want everyone to see my business as. We are visual storytellers, because everyone has a story to tell.
Right.
So if you need someone to help you tell your story and create those unique visuals, definitely let me know. As you can see here, JD, if you
this is all him, B. Listen, I'm telling you, I'm just the conduit, dog. Like, listen, I'm telling you, if you got any dealings with me and it's anything in reference to what we got going on right now, this is all him. All I told him, see what I like about him, Don is a visionary. He's like a creative director. So what I do is I give him my ideas, and my thoughts are so sporadic. It's like, I'm gonna just tell him something, and I trust his vision so much. I'm like, yo, just run with it. You know what I'm saying? I trust him. I'm like, man, hey, how you want to do it, where you need me at, where you want me to sit, what music I need to play, whatever that is, you know what I'm saying, to get him in his vibe, and I let him do him. And so whatever y'all seeing, what y'all like, I mean, I hope y'all can see the clippers. You see he got the Real Pro. Tell them how you spell Real Pro, Don. Explain,
definitely.
Break that down. Tell them.
Yeah, like it's crazy how I came up with real production and photography, but the real in itself is the most unique out of my name.
Right.
So I started out fishing. My pops taught me how to fish and everything I love. So
shout out to Ron.
Yeah, shout out to my pops, Donovan Barnes, Super Cut 2.
You already know.
Letting us host this right here.
Legendary, baby.
So I just kind of figured, I like fishing, and in order to go fishing, you need a fishing reel, and that's spelled R-E-E-L. It's the same way as in my name.
Right.
And I also got a fishing YouTube channel.
Right. Shout that out. Tell them where they can find you out on
YouTube. Definitely check me out on YouTube. TheReelDon. TheReelDon. Yeah. One word, no spaces.
All of this is going to be in the description as well,
Yeah, I'm TheReelDon. There ain't no other before me, and there will be no other like me.
Listen, hey, I'm going to tell you, it's crazy because I was just chopping it up with somebody, man, and he was talking about what's the last book I read. And I was like, the last book I read is by Charlemagne the God. It wasn't Shook Ones, it was Black Privilege. And he said, I believe it's a Jay-Z line for everything you go through in life. And he was like, it's the real Don. And he was like, you said it's only one. He said, before me there'll be many, after me there'll be none. I'm the one. Real Don. You already know. Listen, man, what we gonna get into today, man? We gonna get into a lot of topics that Don and I always bouncing back and forth on. And we gonna get into some of our deep stuff. The third eye, the eye, and the idolatry. And we're going to also speak on, ventures that we have going on in the future and explain what I'm trying to do with my podcast. And I'm pretty sure you got a podcast coming soon, right?
Yeah, pretty soon.
It's in the making, or you got to, how much of the leg work or either the ideas have you got put in it thus far?
As you see right now, I got
okay. So, all right, so this rough jack, this dog, what y'all witnessing is a brainstorm. I already know it's a calm before the storm. So you can say it's a dawn before the storm. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you. But
what else I need though? I definitely want to get the podcast equipment.
Yeah.
The sound mic like you got.
Yeah.
And
we small level, baby. We small level. We like I said, dog. We winging this. We trying to see, exactly. I'm a part of another podcast. Shout out to Land Ethics, and and then part of doing that, it was like I was thinking like prior to it, I was like, we in the black community, we're in a barbershop, right? So one thing I always like to touch on is mental health, because I mean, especially, and it's crazy, I can get so much insight from you coming from being a Marine, coming from being a civilian to then a soldier, back to civilian, then that transition from back to civilian to like understanding what you was gonna. Okay, take me to that point. We just gonna dive in. Take me from the point of where could you remember that give me how old you were when you went into the Marine Corps, and for your duration. You don't have to touch on whatever. But what part of that process kind of got you to where you at? Like give us a storyline. Tell us where you started from. Give us a storyline of where you came to now.
Yeah, so I graduated here in Roanoke Rapids, small town.
Yeah.
And I started working at Safe Flight, and I initially tried to go into the Air Force, but there were some issues there, so I went into the Marines. They accepted me.
What made you pick the Marine Corps? Like, what you wanted to challenge?
I initially wanted to go into the Air Force just because, I just wanted to play it safe.
Right.
And
you went left.
That's something.
And you've been going left. Right. Are you left-handed, Don?
I'm right-handed. Right-handed.
Yeah, I think he ambidextrous, to be honest, because I think you've been going. I'm telling you, ever since I've known you went left. But okay, so you say you graduate.
You give me 2 months, I'll be able to write my left hand fluent. Probably better than my.
You know what I'm saying? So you okay? So we at the phase where you decided the Air Force ain't what you want to do. Right. It's not what you're gonna do.
The Marines let me in, and someone, when I told them, I didn't even sign the paper. Someone told me that, oh, you can't even do that. You can't do it. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to prove you wrong.
Right,
so you tell me I can't do nothing, guess what I'm going to do?
I'm going to do it.
I'm going to do it.
Right.
And I went in, graduated boot camp, came back, and I couldn't wait to see him.
Right.
I told you I would do it. Yeah, I'm here. But yeah, I enjoyed the Marines. For one, a lot of people say that it's the toughest. So why not? If you're gonna do something, you go 110%. You don't need to half-ass anything.
I agree.
The Marines definitely gave me the challenge that I was looking for.
Right. And you've been accepting challenges ever since then.
Ever since then.
So okay, so now let's go through. Understand, and I'm pretty sure if people don't understand, as far as the Marine Corps, that's like, it's probably like the hardest in the armed forces, correct?
It is. We got the longest boot camp. We're the smallest branch, but we're also the toughest branch.
Okay, so half as short, twice as strong. I always like to say that. Okay, so now for your duration there, okay, so now you've converted from being, a regular hometown dude, and now you're in the Marine Corps. Okay, you're succeeding in that. What was your highest level of office?
I got out as a sergeant.
Okay, so you made it a sergeant. You did how many years?
4.
So you did 4 years.
4 inactive.
Okay. So upon getting out the Marine Corps, I know you did 2 tours, correct? Mm-hmm. So shout out to that. I mean, you said the hardest part was doing boot camp. I'm pretty sure,
Yeah, deployment is another struggle.
And I can't even imagine. And I honestly don't think if you've ever been there, you can even describe it. You know what I'm saying? And so it's one of those things that it lets you know, like you talking about going through the valley of the shadow of death.
Yeah.
Literally going there and seeing the valley, the shadow, and the death.
And everything.
Man, yeah. So you done seen it all. So okay, so now, just not to make light of it, but to fast forward through it, because we're trying to get to where you at currently, because I always believe in the power of now. So upon coming out of the Marine Corps, what was your idea at that point? Like, did photography even come in your mind at any point? Like, at what point did this even come into play?
So when I got out, I honestly didn't know what I wanted to do. I just wanted to be free. I didn't want to take no commands from anybody. That. So when I got out, I really didn't. I went to school thinking that that's what everybody wants you to do.
Right.
Go to school, get your degree. Be a sheep.
Right.
Be a sheep. So I did that, and I honestly dropped out of college two classes away from getting my associates.
Right.
And after that, I started working for Social Security for 5 years, and not
5 years. It was 5 years.
It was just about 5 years.
Wow. Okay.
So
you was playing. So you went from playing it left to playing it right. Yeah. Okay. So at what point of being, but you were solidified in that position. So
I was doing great
working
with Social Security. Not Social Security, don't knock nobody in there, but as like the 6 months as I was pondering on, do I want to stay here?
Right.
I was looking at my bosses.
Right.
I was looking at the position above me.
Right.
And I was asking myself,
can I see myself
I want to
there?
Be there?
Yeah.
Is that who I want to be?
Right.
And I said no.
Okay. So now, at what point? Now, and realizing where you didn't want to be, what did you do to get you where you wanted to be?
Honestly, I honestly did not. Even when I left Social Security, I did not think I was going to be doing photography. So my homeboy, Clarence, shout out to him.
Shout out to
Clarence, 252.
Shout out to Clarence.
Check his YouTube channel, man. The guy just bought him a second Corvette, man.
Come on, shout out to Clarence.
My inspiration, man.
Two vet Clarence. Yeah. From one vet to 2 vets.
Yeah, he's from the 252.
From a lot of good stuff come from the 252.
It is, man. I love my hometown.
Yeah.
He had a YouTube channel talking about his first vet. And he told me to start a YouTube channel.
Right.
So I got the equipment. I didn't have all of this, but I had a smaller camera and I had a GoPro camera.
Right.
And I started doing my fishing stuff. I figured I'm going to do something I love to do.
Right.
I started fishing, and I mean, at the end of the day, I still look at my YouTube channel as being successful right now.
That's crazy.
Because
you said that.
I started out with 0.
It's crazy because I remember just the other day. It's weird. I'm telling you, dog. Listen. The other day, I remember sending you a clip of of a Breakfast Club interview about Think Like a Billionaire. And the guy said he believed that people that's become billionaires have it's some kind of sex, he explained, but he said they take one thing they love and one thing they can do well, and they have sex with them, and that mesh into what they gonna do. What's the odds in you taking real, meaning a fishing rod, and pro, meaning production, photography, you know what I'm saying? Right. And then you had sex with those ideas and you created this. Right. I'm telling you, hey dog, y'all, I'm talking to a billionaire. Right. I already know I'm talking to a billionaire.
And obviously the camera got a camera reel in it.
See what I'm saying? So, it's like, it's so many different, that's crazy. So it's so many different plays on words. So you gotta, you already got a good, you done coined a great phrase. Your mental has to be in a stable capacity in order for you to transition as well as you did. Because I always tell people, life is like a good basketball team. They always work well in transition, because in transition, you don't know, you got to trust your teammate to know what's going to happen. So chemistry got to come into play. So because of that, man, it make it crazy, man. I'm just looking at, I'm in awe. I'm telling y'all, real pro make you feel real famous. You know what I'm saying? And that's just a plug. But outside of the mental health thing, I know you and I also speak on finance. Yeah. And of course, being an entrepreneur with what you got going on, so you self-employed. So that's one thing. Another thing we have in common, both self-employed. You're doing what you love. You living your best life. I hate that that terminology, but you living your best life.
Right, and I ain't even listen to that song. I ain't like it.
That's why I like this. That's why I like you, because I've only heard the hook, and that's because so many people just say it. It's like a
And it's crazy because like I could understand, but the people who are financially stable around me didn't speak on that song.
Right.
So it was always
and you know what? The people who weren't financially stable around me spoke on that song.
About it. Like it's crazy.
It's like I look at it like it's a mind thing. I'll create this thought of living my best life, so hopefully I can transition into that. Yeah. But we watching you in real time, seeing how you transition into your best life. So now we're out the military. We realized that we're taking photography based off a hobby that your father taught you. Again, shout out to Donovan Barnes. And we use that and you start realizing, like, okay, so what did you see when you look back at your videos when you was fishing? What did you see? What sparked in you that was like, yo, hey dog, man, I can do this for a living?
I actually didn't see it, to be honest with you. When I looked at it, like, only thing that I was looking at was how could I make this better?
Right.
Because you always can better your craft.
Agreed.
Practice will never make perfect. Never. Practice will make improvement.
Ooh. Practice will never see that's I love quotes, y'all. Practice will never make perfect. Practice will always make improvement. I like that. Okay.
So I was looking at it, and I honestly, like, I was researching, how to, critique your video like this, how to add these transitions, and it just all came to me with ease, and with me having a YouTube channel, I also wanted my viewers to see the transition that I was going as well. So my buddy, I was filming for him, and he told me, like, man, you should start a business. Your videos are better than some of the veteran YouTubers that are already out there. Right. And I would edit some of his photos for his thumbnails, and he said it again, like, just start a business, man. Like, you're good, you're great.
That's crazy.
And I went for it. My first job was a real estate shoot.
Right.
Which is real.
Real. See. So I'm about to tell you something after you finish this. Go ahead.
So I was so excited about getting that first job. It was a doctor sitting in Starbucks, and I'm always nervous with approaching people, but I knew, like, I got to do this because I can't. This isn't no failure.
You felt it, yeah. You felt it.
So I asked him while he was on the phone, if you need a photography video, let me know. Pass him my card. Right. He said, hold on. I didn't know who this guy worked for.
Right.
He was selling his home. His home was priced at over $700,000.
Wow. And
went and done his home, beautiful home, theater in the basement, 3 stories, game room on the 3rd floor, the whole 9, and only charged him $100.
Wow.
Only $100. And he told me after, he's like, man, you should charge me more. Like, but we already agreed on it.
Agree. It's good business. Good business.
You're right. And come to find out, he was a doctor that worked for Duke. He worked his way up to where he designed all of Duke's ERs to where they are now. And he started working for a pharmaceutical company as one of their medical managers, where he basically sell like ER machines to the ERs and to the doctors. Like he's
the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah, like this guy definitely making over $200,000 a year. You know, we talking like $17,000 a month.
Wow.
And I charged him $100.
You know what? But know what?
You got to start somewhere.
Agree. And you know what? And you know what? You really you charged him $100, but he paid you for the vision.
Right.
So it's like, and that's my major thing. I'm like I said, I like dealing with visionaries, and the fact that I see that, you know, where we go and where you're going, where I want to go, the journey that we both want to go on. It just, of course, in a ascending situation, but at the same time, it's like still taking the time to reflect and realizing where you came from.
Yeah.
Because every time you can look back where you came from, you can see how far you went. It's just is weird. You keep using the real, and I know you spoke to me the other day about the power of the number, and you was talking about I'm gonna wake up one day and I'm gonna just chase this number. Just chase the real.
Yeah.
It worked for you this far.
Yeah.
So we were speaking about like and dealing with visionaries and the fact that, you know, you're dealing with ex-football player, and the fact that, you know, that's a part of it, one of those things that kind of catapults your career and to where you know that it's going at this point. And dealing with a person, an athlete, you know, a lot of times we look at athletes as like in the best shape of their lives or whatever. What are you doing right now to stay in the best shape? We just said you live in your best life. What are you doing to stay in the best shape of your life? I know we spoke about your diet. You know what I'm saying? How has that changed you?
Yep. Yeah, like I was saying, you know, definitely shout out Marcus Ogden. You know, definitely look him up. He's a life coach, motivational speaker.
Good guy.
And I'm glad to be part of his team right now.
Shout out to Marcus.
You know, he's definitely been giving me some few pointers about, you know, staying fit, staying in the best shape of my life. And one thing that I've been doing with staying in the best shape is I've actually, you know, converted to becoming a vegetarian.
Wow.
You know,
man, you gave up meat now. Okay, Don. Hold on, wait, Don. Now, okay. See, I'm gonna tell you something I learned about Don. We just talked about him going left, right? Pause, going left, right. That's crazy. Yeah. And now he's saying give him 2 months, he's gonna be riding with the left. And then he said he's left. So okay, but you're a fisherman.
Mm-hmm. I mean, so I still eat fish.
Okay.
Yeah, I still eat fish. You know.
Okay, explain the concept and why and how you vegetarian and like what you're doing, like other than as far as your diet. What does your diet consist of?
Right now, my diet consists of basically mainly vegetables. Anything grown from the ground.
Right.
The reason why I stopped eating meat, I was been listening to a guy podcast. I've actually been wanting to challenge myself to stop eating meat for a long time, but I've been listening to this other speaker. His name is his YouTube channel is Infinite Waters.
Yeah, you know what's great? Shout out to my little brother Mel, because my brother Mel put me on to him probably about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
He been doing it a while, and Mel was like, "Yo, listen to this dude." But yeah, shout out to my little brother Mel.
Shout him out, yeah. And so he was like, you know, do a 7-day vegan challenge, and I mean, I didn't want to do anything vegan, so I just wanted to be straight vegetarian.
Did you know? Okay, I always like that. I'm a conspiracy type theorist person, and I always like to let people. Did you know? It's certain people. It's called I forgot what it's called, but did you know? It's some people that literally live off air, like they literally eat air, and it's some people that literally eat the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to I'm gonna tell you how crazy. I was listening to Mike Tyson podcast, and he was talking about, I think it's called I don't even want to try to make up a name for it, but it's certain people that literally live off air, and they say that they have a hard time speaking because they literally live off the air. I was like, man, I'm gonna see if Don gonna challenge me. He said to live off the air. I'm like, Don, eat air for like 7 days.
I think it's hard for them to speak because they probably killing us.
Yeah, but it's literally, you know, I mean, y'all can do the research, but it's literally people that live off air, and then some people that literally say that they eat the sun and they live off that.
Yeah, I'm not going to that extreme.
Okay.
I definitely.
That's two left, Don?
Yeah, two
okay,
left.
Yeah, Don will be right with his right hand, yeah.
I love my flavor. Definitely love the taste of beautiful earth. I think the reason why a lot of people eat meat, for one, they're used to it. That's what we're growing off from, Southern cooking.
Right.
It's the best
fried
food you
chicken,
can get.
Steak.
Delicious. I know it's delicious.
You don't miss a steak, Don. So if I put a steak as good as your father cook on the grill, and he cook some of those rib eyes he like to do, or either those what are them chuck eyes he like, you ain't gonna eat it.
No, the last steak I ate was one that I cooked, and it was the best one I ever cooked. My mom even said it.
Right.
And I still can cook it, but
right. But you don't have no desire to have it. So. Well, you strong-minded. Again, we talking to a Marine, y'all, so you already know that, you got to be strong-minded in order to be in the Corps.
My biggest challenge was coming home and saying I can't eat my pop's meat. I can't eat those good-ass ribs.
I believe that. Because your father's a grill master. So
we
grew up off his. I mean, you know what I'm saying. I've been, like I said, I've been knowing your family now for 13 years. So I literally came up off the way I learned how to cook on the grill is through your father. So
yeah, it's
grill master.
It was a struggle at first, but I started to feel the mental transition,
right,
and the physical transition that my body was feeling, and at this point, I don't see how people eat meat.
Right.
Even though I know it tastes good, don't get me wrong.
Right.
I know it tastes good.
Right.
But if people could feel the way I feel,
right,
after you detox from meat, you will understand why you shouldn't be eating meat.
But see, Don, that's the reason why you're a photographer, because you let people feel what they didn't know that they could feel through you.
Yeah, it's energy. Like I'm sure they feeling it through the camera.
And you're doing it. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's like real food.
I'm eating a lot of real food.
Yo,
you be surprised.
Okay. So I mean, I guess we could sum all of that up, in reference to the mental health. Your diet, of course, your thought process, and as far as what you do in reference to exercise.
I run. I haven't been running lately because I've been having a little shin splints, but I definitely run. I try to at least get over 12,000 steps in a day.
Okay.
So if I'm not running, I'm walking my dog, and we go walking.
Right. What's the dog name?
Name's Blue.
Shout out to Blue.
Shout out to Blue.
Blue. Oh, so are you a Jay-Z fan, Don? Because he named his first daughter Blue. Like, I guess you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, cool. Yeah, well, you already know. Like, you already know my stance on that. Okay, so we go. Transitioning from the whole mental health thing, man. I know you and I. We always speak on finances, which is the dollar, idolatry. And we talk about capitalism. And one thing you've been teaching me, you've been mentoring me on, is what you've learned thus far in the stock market. And in this climate that we're in right now, man, it's crazy. And everybody's looking for another way of getting income or some kind of residuals or, some form of having some extra cash coming in. Mm-hmm. And like I said, you schooled me to a lot of things I learned. I just made my first $20 on the stock market. Shout out to the penny stocks. Man. Yeah, thank you, man. And then I think I just lost some of it today. I just lost some of it.
It'd be like that.
But you and I was talking about this vaccine that's coming out, and is Verivax, and
don't get the vaccine.
And they was so you don't like vaccines, Don? Hey, well, you don't speak on vaccines, though. We can speak on vaccines.
I'm just saying, when you do research. And you
see we going back to the eye. We going back to that third eye. I feel talk your truth, Don. Talk your truth.
You got to go out there and do the research yourself. Like I even tell my father to stop watching the news.
Yeah.
Stop listening to the government on certain issues.
I've been telling your father that for the longest, man. I think that's the reason why. I think me and you is his biggest consultant. He be like, JD, you do this. Well, Don did this, and I'm like, then he be like, well, call Don. I'm like, man, come on, Ron. Damn. He's like, call Don. I'm like, okay. Or he'll be like, what I got to do this? I'm like, did Don do that for you? Yeah, he did it. So, but listen, so we had this vaccine, right? And we on this financial standpoint, right? And I see they got a $1.6 billion grant just for the pretty much just researching the virus, and they're saying that they're gonna try to have it given out to 100 million people, and on the stock exchange at $96. How many shares we gonna buy, man?
I honestly, even though I'm not for vaccines, I'm all about building financial wealth.
Understood.
And even if I'm against it, but I know that it could put me in a financial stability or financial place,
right,
or the next tax bracket, the
right,
next level,
right,
I would invest in it.
Cool.
We definitely damn sure can buy some shares of their stock. The only thing that's real sketchy about pharmaceutical companies is that if the tests fail,
right,
the stock fails.
Okay. What about man, it's, I don't know who the like, dog. I understand God created the iPhone, dog. I mean, with a phone, like in general, like it ain't it ain't no way you could do all this shit with one thing.
The iPhone definitely is a great phone.
See what I'm saying? I told you, you normally like that. That's like, like you excited, but you sound like. Okay, man. So where I'm at with it, man, I'm looking at, like, we done touched on so many points that kind of reflect on who we are both as growing beings. You know what I'm saying? What do you feel like? What would you want to, if you died today? What would you want to live on in your legacy?
It's a good question, man. I honestly don't know. I just want everyone to understand, who I am. I'm just a good-hearted guy.
That's why okay, Don. Come on, Don. We ain't being modest on the end. Come on, man. I'm talking to the left man. And that's gonna be my nickname for you, left man. Listen, dog. With all the higher being and the things that you know that you are capable of accomplishing, what do you want? Okay, what would you want your child that never met you to know if they never was able to meet you? If somebody traced their genealogy back on Ancestry.com 20,000 years from now and it came back to you, what would stand out about you?
Probably nothing. I honestly don't want to stand out.
Really?
Yeah.
So you don't want to make your mark? Like it wouldn't be crazy for your grandson to be like, yo, I ain't know that my great was like great.
They will, because right now everything that I do is for them. So if someone else is searching me, I don't expect them to get the same, get to understand me as my legacies, my generations.
Well, in reference to your lineage, then, like how do you want, because I know family is real major to you. I already know that. So it's like
I want to leave wealth. I want to leave, wherever I am at the time that I leave. I want my kids, my grandkids to start at that point.
It's crazy you say that, because I always tell people, I was like, the best companies in the world is the ones that say "and son." So it's like, I always, every time I see that, I be like, yo, I'm going to shop with them. Yeah. I'm be like, because when you see something that say Barnes and Son, Darden and Son, it mean that his daddy did something so good that his son could just walk behind him. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I don't think people see that. So anytime you see a and son, and not like a and another name, because a lot of times that mean that the son married a woman and then she realized how much wealth he had and he died first, and she was like, oh, I ain't gonna let this shit pass me. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna use my last name with his family last name, and I'm gonna let my future kids with my new husband capitalize off something that his daddy did for him that benefited me. Mm-hmm. Y'all follow me? Y'all rewind and y'all understand what I said?
I do.
So at the end of the day, when you see Barnes and Son, that means Barnes did something so good. He did something at a high level so high that his son could just walk behind him and reap the event. It's like when somebody pours so much in your cup and you just put the coaster up on it. You be like, I could eat off the coaster. because it was that well.
Right.
And so that's how I look at my legacy. I want it to be to where when you speak my last name, my kids get loans. Yeah. When you speak my last name, my kids get in front of lines.
Like,
when you speak my when you speak my last name, my kids get known. When you speak my last name, you know who in the building. You know what I'm saying? And you know, at the end of the day, that's legacy. So
I love the legacy that my granddad left behind.
Speak on it.
Because he passed him.
Right.
And everybody know him. I was talking with Reverend McCullum today, and he spoke highly of him.
Right.
Told him I wish he was here. He passed away when I was in the 4th grade.
Right.
And there's some things I need to ask him now. You know, that I should have been asking, but obviously I was a kid at the time. You know, so when everybody speak of Barnes, you know, they know Charles Barnes.
Right.
They know Matty Barnes.
Right.
You know, even though this is a small town, I want people to, like you said, when they say Barnes, I want my face to pop up.
Donovan Barnes.
Outside right there. Okay, yeah. That grandson with Donovan Barnes, right? Yeah, that guy built an empire.
Agreed.
Like that's what I want to be known for, man. Like, you know, going back to that, when people like my grandkids' kids speak on my name, if they spoke to my name on the playground, they might not understand who I am.
Right.
But my generation down the line will know.
Who you are.
He did something. Like he was a turning point.
Yeah, he was different. He changed the family tree.
Yeah, and we got to thank Charles Barnes, Matty Barnes, Bronner Barnes, Cheryl Barnes for this guy. You
got to pay homage to those that came before you.
Yeah.
Okay. So in closing, if you could have a conversation with one person that ain't here right now, what's one question you would ask them? Who would you talk to, and what would you ask them? I mean, anybody. I'm talking about worldwide. Period. If you could have a conversation with one person that's not here right now, and you could ask them one question, what would you ask them?
It would be God.
Okay, and what would you ask God?
Why?
Man, that's 5. Yo, I promise I knew. Man, God, only God knows. I knew you was gonna say that. Because we just that type of dude.
Yeah, and anybody who listening, you take that in your own direction.
Yo, man, think about. I just asked you if you could ask one person in the whole world that's gone now a question. What would you ask me? You said I would ask God, and why? Come on, dog. This Idolatry The Podcast, man. Hey, Don, listen, it's been a great pleasure.
I appreciate it.
Dog, it's always ill when real people link up. You know what I'm saying? Again, I want to give you the platform to shout out to everybody what you got going on, how they can find you, what you doing, what's your newest ventures, whatever you want the world to know. If this is your last podcast, what would you want the world to know right now?
Be kind to everyone. We have different ideas, we have different ideologies, we have different religion, and we go about our daily lives different. Just because someone is going through their life different than yours doesn't mean that they're going about it wrong.
Right.
So with that being said, just treat everybody with kindness and respect.
Yeah.
And stay in your lane.
I agree with that, man. You know, the Bible speaks on treat everybody like they're a gatekeeper, meaning that you never know who got the key to the gate you're trying to get to. So you treat everybody like they possibly got that key, and if you do, you don't step on nobody's toes. As it says in the intro, the way I'm gonna close, you owe it to the world to be the highest form of you. If you don't, it's a disservice to God. Chameleon loses 3 days of his life every time he try to change his colors just to blend in. As the caterpillar said to the butterfly, "Why did you change?" The butterfly responded, "Cause I'm supposed to, nigga." This Idolatry The Podcast, hosted by yours truly, JD, with my special guest, the real pro photo, Mr. Don Barnes. Peace out. Love y'all. We out. You know, man, it don't even feel real, dog. Man, I never thought, man, I've been knowing you for 13 years, man. Like, I would have never. I mean, you think about your journey, like, I got so much to say to you. Yo, man, I got so much to say to you, dog. You think about your journey. I remember writing you a letter in Paris Island.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I want to say I still got every last letter too.
Yo, I remember that. Yo, this shit crazy. It's crazy.
And we're here now. This is where we at.
This shit is crazy, man.